the Declaration of Principles between the Government of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, and the Alliance Fleuve Congo, March 23rd Movement, AFC M23, was signed on July 19, 2025, in Doha, Qatar, under the mediation of Qatar and with the support of the United States. This agreement is a significant step towards resolving the long-standing conflict in eastern DRC. Here's a breakdown of the declaration and how it aims to bring peace to North and South Kivu. Key commitments and provisions of the declaration. Permanent ceasefire. The declaration establishes a commitment to a permanent ceasefire, including a prohibition on all forms of attacks, aerial, ground, maritime, lake-based, acts of sabotage, hate propaganda, and any attempts to seize or modify positions by force. Peaceful resolution. Both parties affirm their resolve to prioritize peaceful means, establish a ceasefire, and set up a joint mechanism to define its practical implementation. Restoration of state authority. A crucial point acknowledged by both sides is the restoration of state authority throughout the national territory, particularly in areas currently under AFC M23 control. This implies the return of state institutions like the army, police, judiciary, and civil administration. Third, inclusive dialogue. The declaration encourages inclusive dialogue, seen as vital to addressing the root causes of the conflict and achieving lasting peace. Return of displaced persons and refugees. It includes measures to facilitate the voluntary, safe, and dignified return of internally displaced persons and refugees to their places or countries of origin. Confidence-building measures. Signatories pledge to adopt confidence-building measures to reassure the Congolese population and foster a favorable climate for dialogue, including the potential release of prisoners or detainees. Alignment with DRC-Rwanda Agreement. The declaration builds upon and aligns with the peace agreement signed between the DRC and Rwanda in Washington, D.C. on June 27, 2025. Which aim to normalize bilateral relations and address regional security concerns. Timeline for comprehensive agreement. The Declaration of Principles sets a deadline for direct negotiations for a comprehensive peace agreement to be concluded no later than August 18, 2025. How it aims to bring peace to North and South Kivu. The Declaration of Principles aims to bring peace to North and South Kivu by addressing several critical aspects of the conflict. Cessation of hostilities. The immediate and permanent ceasefire is paramount. This directly reduces the violence that has plagued these provinces, saving lives and preventing further displacement. Stabilization and state presence. By committing to the restoration of state authority, the agreement intends to bring back essential governance, security, and services to areas currently controlled by AFC M23. This is crucial for long-term stability and development. Addressing root causes. The emphasis on inclusive dialogue suggests an intention to delve into the underlying issues that fuel the conflict, such as resource exploitation, ethnic tensions, and governance deficits. Humanitarian relief. The return of displaced persons and refugees is vital for humanitarian relief and allows communities to rebuild. Regional cooperation. The alignment with the DRC-Rwanda agreement signifies a broader regional effort to address the conflict, acknowledging the cross-border dynamics and external influences that have contributed to instability in the Kivus. Trust building. Confidence-building measures, such as potential prisoner releases, aim to foster a climate of trust between the warring parties and the affected population, which is essential for successful peace implementation. International support and monitoring. The involvement of the UN peacekeeping mission, MONUSCO, Qatar as a mediator, and the support of the United States and the African Union provides a framework for monitoring and verification of the ceasefire and the overall implementation of the agreement. Challenges and skepticism. Despite the optimism surrounding the declaration, some experts remain skeptical due to past failures of peace agreements in the DRC. Key challenges include implementation, the unification of the internal opinions among AFC, M23, Twirwaneho and other armed groups, the Kinshasa interpretation of M23 withdrawal, while the DRC government insists on the non-negotiable withdrawal of M23 from occupied areas. M23 leaders have emphasized mechanisms for eastern security. Justice mechanisms. the justice mechanisms for victims of the conflict, which some argue is crucial for lasting peace. Defining modalities. The upcoming comprehensive peace agreement will need to define the specific modalities, timeline, and authority attitude.